So here's what I tell people: hook it up close. You can hook it up anywhere, but hook it up close to your shirt. That way, it's closer to your mouth so they can hear you.
Okay.
Camera rolling,
Where
by
you
the way,
where you
already.
put it?
So
Where you
I'm
put
gonna put
yours?
my shit right here, bro. There we
You be doing
go.
bloopers and shit.
You say what?
So you be doing bloopers and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but nah, just for the sake of interview.
Yeah.
I mean, the only person I feel like I could probably do a blooper with is Mitch. All right, camera rolling, both mics on.
He a clown.
Go ahead and grab everything. All right, Jay. Let me go off and start off like I tell everybody else. One,
I'm looking at you at the camera.
that you can look at anything you want,
Okay.
but again, this is your show. Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for coming to my platform.
Yes, sir.
Again, like I said over the phone many times, just getting with many different competitors, regardless of what they do, and just want to address their story, want to address why they chose whatever they chose, whether it's powerlifting, bodybuilding, yada yada yada, and just give your intake on fitness and in the com- the realm that you do. So again, thank you. I appreciate you. What I do is I set the clock for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
When the clock goes off, I do ask like, hey, can we continue? If you want to cut it there, we can cut it there. If you want to keep going, keep going.
Okay.
Whatever knowledge you want to drop, you can. Whatever jewels you want to drop, you can. But other than that, like everybody else, please introduce yourself and we'll go from there. You can say your age, where you from, what you like to do, yada, yada, yada. Once you get done with that, then that's when I start asking the questions.
All right. Jayleen. Last name Washington. From Fayetteville.
Hey.
30. Just turned 30 a couple months ago. You getting into why I do this?
No,
How
no,
you
I'm
gonna
asking,
ask that?
but
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I got you,
Yeah,
bro.
pretty much that's it. You know.
All right, so say less. So, as far as we'll go like way back, like your fitness journey. So, how old are you when you started actually like going to the gym, like working out?
So, of course, I was always in the mirror. Little dumbbells and stuff like that. I couldn't tell you what age that was, but as far as like going to actual gym, probably 13.
13 years old.
Yeah.
So, who got you in it? Was it your father? Was it a family thing? Like, what did you just see people you go? Yeah.
Well, who actually got it? My mom. I had to say my mom. She's always had me and my brother in sports. Period. So,
We gonna touch on that too. I
but
got you. Yeah.
she was in the Air Force, so she worked at Pope.
Okay.
Actually, they call it Hercules now. But she worked out there. She was the fitness manager out there. So I was always in and out the gym. You know what I'm saying, being a kid. But she the one that actually got me in there.
Got you. Got you. So, I want to touch on the sports. What? Again, I know, but for the honest. So, what sports did you play?
Everything up until the point of college. Basketball, football, track. Went to college, I played football. So
What was the training regimes like? And again, this is all realms of fitness. What was the training regimes like, and which one was your hardest out of all those that you just mentioned? Football, basketball, track?
definitely football.
Definitely football.
Played for a hard-nosed coach, Coach Bob and Coach Mike. So the hardest, definitely football. Track is just running. Basketball wasn't bad, but football by far. If you know Fayetteville, North Carolina, you know 71st football program. You know.
Say less, say less. Actually, you just kind of posed the question. So, your athleticism and your build. So did you always have this build, or did like the sports that you did kind of like contribute to how you're? Does that question make sense? Or
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I think I can answer like this. I think I've always had an athletic build. Like what my build is now wasn't what my build is when I was in quote. Well, I mean, I was always an athlete. This is still being an athlete, but as far as like playing football and stuff like this, it wasn't. I was a little bit more slender. Probably like that athlete prototype. Now is way more muscle. So lean. Still had a little bit of muscle on me though for average football player, basketball player.
Last question on this, and I promise you I'll just bring it full circle. So, what position did you play in football? Since I imagine that was your favorite, or that's What position you play in football?
So in rec leagues, again, everything. I mean, if you're an athlete, they pretty much play everything. So I ain't gonna act like I was that deal when I say I play everything. But if you're an athlete, you kind of do that. When I got in middle school, started switching over to the cornerback and wide receiver mainly. High school, my main position was corner. Did a little bit of offense, of course, special teams and all that. And then when I got to college, it was specific as cornerback.
Say less, say less, say less. So with that, you started at 13. So like, was committing for you a problem? Did you just naturally like doing it? Like what made you like stay committed to it? If that
Now
makes sense.
committing was a problem because it wasn't like what I'm doing now. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? This is kind of like it's very strategic. You know, when I was doing it when I was 13, it was just for fun. And, you know, just to be in the mirror and looking at my abs and stuff like that. So it was more of a want to look good back then versus like a want to actually be good at a certain sport, as in you know, what I'm saying bodybuilding and stuff like that.
Got-
It wasn't hard on me.
I got you. So out of all of them, because again, you got various different things. Why bodybuilding? Like, did a family member do it, or is just like you just chose that and be like, all right, I'm gonna stick with this one?
No, man. Like, I take it back where I grew up and I watching Dexter Jackson, Kai Green, Jay Cutler, Ronnie. Back when I was
Yeah,
in middle school,
buddy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the thing, man. Everybody wanted to be yelling at in the weight room, so that's what piqued my interest as far as bodybuilding. But as far as actually getting on the stage and all that, I mean, you haven't got into that, but as far as getting on the stage and all that, there was a guy named Justin. He competed. He probably was in his 30s back then that would actually help me in the weight room. And then, you know, I would see him posing and all that other stuff, so I would try to pose and he would help me. So eventually we just got into it that way.
Say less. So how about this? I'm gonna bring it forward, but then take it back just a little bit. So how old were you when you first started bodybuilding? Like you did your first like
My
comp?
first show?
Yeah, relatively
14.
young. Okay, so 14. So what was that like? So you were introduced to concept of nutrition, prep, posing, and or am I overanalyzing it or because
A
that's a
little
young
bit. I
that's a
mean,
young age, right?
that
Yeah.
is what it takes. But however, as far as 14, you gotta think about it. Like 14 to what I am now, the metabolism is way different. So, I mean, putting on lean muscle at 14 was not hard. You know, what I'm saying?
Okay,
I
okay,
wasn't
yeah.
gonna be bulking or anything like that. And then, you know, I wasn't really developed like that. I don't know what you think the picture of when I was 14, but if I would show you a picture, you would laugh.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just more of me getting comfortable on stage. Now the posing, that definitely was a thing that I got introduced to. As far as the eating clean, I mean I ate clean. It wasn't strict, but it wasn't what it was now. And that was just more of a doing it for the love.
Okay.
You know, do it for the fun. So as far as like the strategic, the hard regimen that you see people do now, it wasn't even close.
Versus young to the adult. Okay.
Yeah.
So damn, attention span of a squirrel. First time getting on stage and like, so obviously getting judged and everything, going through. So what was that like? Like your thought process, back then, and then I'll move it to now. But like, so what was that like? Like when you first got on stage, did you get stage fright? Were you nervous? Did you
Yeah,
even want
man.
to?
You gotta put your shoes in a 13-year-old, 14-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? The things that I was worried about back then ain't what I was worried about now. You know, first it was you didn't see too many people my age doing that, especially where we are at. So it's more of a, oh dang, what I look like doing this. Really, just being concerned about other people's opinions. As far as telling people that I did this, stepping on the stage, it was just I was nervous, real nervous.
So what place you come in, if you don't mind me asking
Tidy
that?
whities. I mean, it wasn't back then for teenage. It wasn't a lot of competitors like around in the organization. So man, it wasn't nothing to place first through third. You know, if somebody showed up. I mean, I've got first, I've got second, I've got third. Now, if you're talking about like a real deal competition in legit place against legit competitors, I probably was in 16, 17 in that range, as far as age. And first and second, I would do first and second. And then, so you had two organizations. You had NPA, then you had NPC back then. NPC was, of course, the big boys. NPA was kind of like it was a lower level organization. I honestly don't even know if they're still around. But my first NPC show, I was probably like 17. And I was going against 19-year-olds. So I placed third. So it wasn't bad. But NPA, I probably would place first, and just by all of them.
So I'm gonna bring it back just a tad bit because you have a lot of experience. So, trainer, correct?
Yes.
So, quick, with the credentials that you have, so have you trained male clients, female clients, and young clients like his as well?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, yes. Young kids, no, not in bodybuilding, but you know, of course, I coach football, so training in that aspect, yeah. So I've coached high school football probably last 6, 7 years. So training there, females, maybe 1 or 2. Males, yeah, I've trained males.
So the only reason I asked, so in this realm of fitness, like, and then also being a trainer, like, what are some hacks like that you've seen as a trainer? I guess for male and female, like what's easy about it, what's hard about it, and then like give us like a little story, critique it in your own way, because that a lot of people can't train. A lot of people can come in here
Training
and
is
do, but train is different.
training is hard. I'm sure a lot of people, and this is at no right bashing anybody's program or anything. However, I will speak on it. When you go into these apps, websites, and all this other stuff, the way I look at training is you can't. A lot of it is kind of generic. You know what I'm saying? You see the 12 to 10 range, it's going to give you this. 6 to 8 range, it's going to give you this. From what I've seen, it's not a lot of drop sets. It's not a lot of holds or squeeze at certain points. So what I feel like definitely makes a difference. So like when you say hacks, I think hacks come from more of when you actually training the person, actually training like face to face, you with that person, or you have one solo client and not basing off of an app or okay, yeah, you pay $24 a month and I'm gonna send you this link and then this is all your programs right there. It can be effective.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it can't. I mean, it definitely can, because the science behind it. It can be effective, but if you're talking about maximizing your potential, I think that needs to be more of a one-on-one based coaching thing and checking in with the coach, telling what you eat, telling how you sleep, how you feeling, are you bloated? It can go on and on and on and
So a
on.
lot of those have come to a stop in a sense. Ever
As,
since
as
I guess the concept of online being introduced.
if you ain't ever talked to your coach, yes, I would say yes.
Uh,
Now, if you're going through an app and like, okay, yeah, I just sit here and I read the program. It's week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you've never really got on the phone and talked to your coach. Like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? The nutrition plan that you send me, this rice is getting me real bloated. What do I do? If you ain't never really had those kind of conversations, then I wouldn't say your potential is maximized. No.
so let me ask you something. Is it harder to get one on one? So let's say you have me. I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah.
Let's say you have me on a 16-week or a 24-week program. Like, how important is it that I see you one on one each week or every other week? For
Very, very important. I mean, for as far as a coach, how do you track progress versus what the clients are sending you? So I've never ran it like that, so I'm assuming this how it goes. Like, what would they send you? Weight?
Yeah. So again, I don't know. I'm just assuming too, because I do based on how I perceived it is very important to have that one-on-one there. So how you explain it is to me, okay, this person's again on the phone. All right, coach wants me to do this workout for this amount of sets, this amount of weight, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Cool. And I just check in with them every other day, like, hey, okay, what do I get next week, yada yada yada. Like, the coach should be there for the workouts at least to see if they're doing the workouts correctly.
No, I'm
And,
not. I'm not
okay.
saying they should be there for the workouts. No, no. I mean that it'd be great. As far as like form and all that other stuff, that'll be great.
Okay.
Do they need to? No. I'm talking more as the fact of what people don't understand. I think working out is 25% of 75% of what else you're doing with your body, what you're putting in and what's coming out, and how you resting.
Okay.
So if you can't really check in on those three things, I think it's
So
not as
don't,
much.
don't they have to send in pictures and all that other to you? Is is it not the same, or
I mean,
that
I
in
don't-
person?
I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how a lot of people. I'm just talking about like the ones like, okay, you going on Instagram, right, and you see somebody's, hey, yeah, looking for clients, boom, and it sends you to the link, and then you fill out a questionnaire, and then you put it in, right, and then they send you a code to the app, and that's how you run your program. As
Okay.
far as some of the coaches that I've had, we're on the phone, we're talking, hey, what's your experience? What don't you like to eat? What do you like to eat? What food makes you feel like this? How do you sleep? Where's your mental? Stuff like that. I feel like if it's ran like that, then yeah, it's good.
Okay, most effective. So for you, how many coaches have you had, and like what was? I'm not gonna say what was the training regime, but what was some of the things that you retained from your coaches?
2, no, 3. I've had 3. The first one, and they kind of all taught me 3 different things. Well, I mean, things that was very important. But I was at different points in my life when I was doing it. My first one, I was what do you consider going to off season? So the eating wasn't strict, but the eating was a lot, a whole lot. Um, kind of figured out how to count macros during that person. That's probably all I learned from that coach. And when to eat, how important it is to structure when you eat around what you do. I, that was my first one. The second one, he was real good on gut health. So eating the right foods, not as far as just eating anything and everything, but eating the right foods. This is how your workout program should be. He was a good one. He was a little expensive, but he was a good.
It was worth it.
Yeah, he was worth it. This third one, communication with your athlete. I learned that a lot. Like we talk almost every day. And this one, this last coach, this is the only coach I've actually did actual competition with. So as far as the bulking and the maintenance phase and all that, I kind of already knew how to do that. But the cutting down, that definitely was a learning environment. So that was pretty tough.
Which one do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy cutting more, or do you enjoy bulking more when you're training?
Bulking.
Both.
If anybody says they like cutting, I think they crazy.
Say less.
It's tough.
For both?
I mean, it's tough for both. You know, it just depends on what tough you want.
Okay.
Do you want to struggle eating all your meals, or do you want to struggle eating all your meals and just being hungry and low carb days and all this other good stuff?
Allow me to ask this. So, temperament-wise, like, did that, regardless of what you're on, your cut and your boat, like, is there a huge change in temperament? You can use yourself or any of your clientele, but like, why is that? Out of curiosity.
Of course. I mean, you just think about like how you feel if you're hungry. You know what I'm saying? So as far as the cutting down phase, just think about like how you feel. Like when you get up, and you're like, dang, I'm hungry. You eat. An hour later, dang, I'm hungry again. But you know, like based off the struggle, the structure.
Can we keep going?
Yeah,
Set it for another?
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Based off the structure, man, I can't eat till about 2 o'clock. So I mean, a little irritation comes from that. And then really just figuring out what your mental health is before you get on prep. I would definitely suggest that because it is challenging.
So you just kind of posed two questions for me. Hopefully I remember them both. But the first question, do you feel like in this realm, do you feel like there's a level of resiliency you have to be a bodybuilder, or just train in the regime of bodybuilding?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Gotta have it because it's gonna be some tough days. It's gonna be some easy days. It's gonna be some days where you need discipline to do what you need to do. It's gonna be, dang, I got food at the house that's prepped, but I'm driving past Krispy Kreme.
You,
know what I'm saying?
motherfucker, you
So
should have brought some donuts to this
yeah.
interview. Now let me stop.
So it's
Yeah.
like you just depend on what you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want your outcome to be the best that it can be, the discipline is hard, man.
So with that, actually, you just posed three. So here, the continued question to that: do you think environment and having a maybe like an accountability partner or outside of your coach? Because again, this is all hard. So, and again, everybody's temperament is different. Camera's still going. Everybody's temperament is different. Everybody's resiliency is different. So, do you think in this realm? Because I get it. When you go on the stage, you by yourself.
Yeah.
But do you think like having some form of support and accountability partner kind of helps?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You need somebody in your corner. I realized that like this last prep.
We're gonna touch on that too. I got you.
Me myself, I was used to working out by myself. You know, I was cool with that. I was content. That's really what I wanted. Going through this prep, it's kind of like, you know, I wouldn't mind having somebody doing the same thing I'm doing. You know, and then eventually, like throughout the prep, I got that. We both did the show together, so we was on prep around the same
And
time.
it does help literally having somebody doing what you're doing, because if somebody's goals are different, then it probably would have defeated the purpose.
Yeah.
All right, say less. So in this realm, all right, I'm gonna address it, and the reason I'm glad you came to this channel to talk to me, because my views on bodybuilding is a little bit warped, and I'll tell you why, and then I'll get back to the question. The reason I don't like the politics. I feel like there's, and I'm not coming at anybody, but not just you, but other people that I know, that I'm friends with, that I see, whether it's 8 weeks, whatever week that y'all do, but the way that I see y'all train, y'all put in that work, and then I see y'all get on stage, do what y'all gotta do, perform exceptionally well, and I'm not coming at you or anybody, you know, but then not get picked. It's a personal opinion. I'm like, that's some old bullshit. But I think about what y'all went through, right?
Right.
And so, but like again, my views on bodybuilding is kind of warped. So anyway, I said all that to say this: do you like the politics of bodybuilding? I don't. I just don't. And it's kind of making me have a disdain for bodybuilding, not the bodybuilder, but the actual the sport of it, if that makes sense.
Um, I have to answer my personal experience. I can't really answer as far as the politics and the big bodybuilding world because I don't really. I mean, I understand it, but I'm not really that in tune with it. So I can say from my last show, I honestly don't mind it.
The
And
politics.
not really.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, not really. I don't mind it, and I only say that to say that of course everybody wants to go in there on an even playing field. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm a little different. Like I don't mind seeing this guy who's the face of the organization and saying, you know what, eventually I'm gonna be him. I don't mind that. And I will say that yes, a lot of the sport is subjective, but as far as the organization, you can kind of read the guidelines, you can kind of read what they're looking for and all this other for. So they kind of put what they're looking for out there, and then you just got to really ask yourself, did I meet that criteria? You know what I'm saying? Before you start saying politics, I should have won, I should have did this, and I don't want to get that confused with just because you did your prep exactly the way that you were supposed to, and you came in looking the best that you could have, does not mean that you should have won. You know what I'm saying? That's the hard truth.
Okay.
That's the hard truth. You can come in there and you can be slice and dice, and somebody's just better than you, or they have that look. Because what I'm learning is that certain categories is a look. It's not based off what you feel the look should be, and it's just the judges of the panels. It's a look.
So you pose a question with that then. So does that mean the concept as, if I understood what you just said correctly, so then that means the concept of bodybuilding itself changed then?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you gotta look. You gotta look through the eras of bodybuilding. Like, if you really, if it really piques your interest that much, you gotta look through the eras of bodybuilding and what it went through, right?
Okay.
And for example, Ronnie Coleman, right? Look at his first win as Olympia and looked at his last, and you take those two and you put them together. His look looks totally different from the first to the last. You know what I'm saying? He got to a point to where he was lean. The first 4 or 5, I feel he should have won. But then it's like, dang, he's putting on so much mass. He's so much bigger. He has so much more muscle than everybody else. Why wouldn't we pick him to win? But then you have people like Jay Cutler that comes in and they're a little bit more slice and dice. So you got Flex Wheeler, who's aesthetically, man, nobody has brought a look like that in a long time. So it's subjective to what the world, not even say world, but the bodybuilding world and the judges and the era that you're in is what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Because now you look at classes of physique, and before Sebum was winning, who won before that? You know what I'm saying? You went through, it wasn't somebody who really took over the game.
Okay.
Sebum, he's been winning for the past couple of years. That's the look that they're looking for. Before that, it was Breon.
Okay.
Two totally different standards. Chris is tall, Breon is short. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
So this conversation, well, this topic in itself is like an onion. There's so many layers to it. So my thing is this: could you say, regardless of what category you train in, once they find the guy that they're looking for, they typically stick with that face because they know that this person is going to continue. And the reason why I ask it like that, he's going to continue to bring what we need to this bodybuilding world. So we're just going to continuously choose him. Is that, if I worded that right, is that kind of fair to bodybuilding and to the I'm asking again. Again, I'm biased against it because I already got a distaste for
is
it
it
now.
fair? You can look at it like this, right? Let's take classic physique. Like, are you up? Do you watch it?
Depending on yes and no, but yeah.
So let's take.
I watch
Classic
everything,
Physique. Chris is the look.
Okay.
But at what show could you have ever said somebody should have beat him? So that's when it's like fairness or not. I don't know. I don't know if it's fair. I mean, he looks damn good and he gets better every year. So it's like, it's hard
Maybe
to
not
say.
all his shows, but like, okay, well, since you brought that up as an example, let's use Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath, right?
Okay.
Okay, so Phil Heath has, I'm I'm saying that right, Phil Heath?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Phil Heath has seven, seven Mr. Olympians, right? There was one year, I believe, I could be wrong, I believe it was the 2014 Mr. Olympian, because again, no matter what,
Yeah.
and again, not just Kyle Green, but any other competitor, but no matter what transition Kai Green went through, he can never beat Phil. Now there was one year, and I think it was that 2014 one. Kai was like,
I mean, that's the one that got everybody in shambles, man.
no, no, no,
Like,
and that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like, all right, do you stick with the guy who's the continuous face, of that, or do you like when do they know when it's time to move on? Like prime example, I believe they did that for not did that. He earned, Mr. Coleman earned his shit, but it was like that for Ronnie Coleman, continuous amount of wins. So we're gonna stick with this guy in Tool. There was Ronnie Coleman, somebody else in Phil Heath. Ronnie Coleman, I forgot who it was, but these guys won X amount of titles, 5, 6, 7 titles. That's all. To me, in my mind, that's why I asked you as a bodybuilder, like how does that make it fair? Because again, you did say like, okay, who's competing with this dude? Maybe nobody's competing with him yet,
Yeah.
but there has been in bodybuilding history where it's kind of like, hey
mean,
man, I'm gonna give you a run for your money, and then
the way I look at it is you got to bring something special to beat somebody who's already been winning.
Okay.
Like, you have to bring something totally different. You can't bring the standard. Like, you can't. I mean, because then it's like, this guy's been bringing the standards for 6, 7 years.
So then
What
again,
do you have that beats him?
so how about this? So if it is established like that, again, the concept of the sport, not the person, because again, I could not do what y'all do. The waking up at certain times, to come in here to do fasted cardio,
Yeah.
and then planning out meals every 3 to 4 hours or 3 hours, waking up. Like I've seen that people wake, so, but it's just like if there's a face of bodybuilding or the guy or the woman of bodybuilding, then realistically you probably just only do this because you love it. Because again, you're not gonna, from a competitive aspect, you're not gonna beat this person.
Well, that's my opinion. Everybody probably don't look at it like that, though. But as far as the face of the organization, that's how I look at it. Now, some people might come with a whole different opinion. Yeah, he been winning, but I can beat him. So, I mean, really, there's people that come out here and they do it just for the love of it. It's people who really come out here and they want to make money. It's people who come out here and they want to monetize off it. It's people who come out here and they actually want to win. So like, it just really just at the end of the day, if you're trying to compete, just ask yourself why you trying to do it.
Okay, let me just ask this quick question on it because you brought up money first. Like bodybuilding, regardless of how good it is not a get rich overnight type sport, right?
No.
Yeah, but and have you come across a lot of people who got into this sport just for that and they had somewhat of a rude awakening? Like okay, like hey, like nah, I'm not gonna get like the money comes out with certain things, sponsorship, views, and other like so.
I mean, there's ways that you can make money in sport, but you just gotta, you gotta sit down and actually run the numbers. Like you can be show ready and go on a run of 5 shows, and you really have to be honest with yourself. Like, can I place first through third? And if you can do 5 shows within a certain amount of time, and you win first through third, and you're getting like what, depending on what organization you're going to, $1,000 every show. Supposed to say it's $5,000 at 5 shows. You just gotta look at the output. I mean, because it does cost a lot of money.
Yeah, so I was gonna say you
So,
kind of put, but yeah.
it just depends on what kind of run that you want to go on. If you have sponsors, if you have people, if you're good on social media. I don't really understand the social media stuff, but I'm pretty sure you can get money off that too. But it's like it just depends. But to answer your question, no, you ain't gonna get rich overnight.
I got you. So allow me. We're gonna touch on your prep from when you got on stage. So your prep when you went into it. So how many weeks out did you do an 8-week program, a 16-week program for the show that you just did?
So mine was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, it was a spur of the moment.
Okay.
It was my coach reached out to me. He was like, hey, do you think you can do this show? And it was probably, he reached out to me probably somewhere in February, and the show was in May. I'm like, I don't know. Because I kind of was like, it was about 11 weeks. I kind of was unimpressed. I wanted to go into off season to boat, and I was kind of like midway through that. So it wasn't necessarily a clean boat, but I said, fuck it, let's try it. So it took about 11 weeks.
So what did you? I know what you went through based on what I saw, but like, so can you please tell, like, what were some of the things you went through, like, as far as your cardio, your meals, and all that? Like, here's my question: how is your temperament? And the only reason I asked like this, there were days I came in and you just had that look on your face, like, I say, yeah, nah,
I mean, man, my temperament wasn't bad, honestly. Like, I probably wasn't, mentally, I was not affected that much.
Okay.
Physically, I was.
Okay.
Physically, I was tired. You know what I'm saying? I was tired. I was ready to eat. I hate cardio, so that definitely blew me. But I knew all these things coming into it, so that's kind of what kept my temperament intact. Now, for me, it's kind of like if I don't know it's coming, then that's probably when something's going to affect me. But if I know that it's coming, I can kind of prepare myself for it. So, the only thing that kind of really fucked me up was like the diet, the cutting, because it was like, dang.
Did you
I
have to
can
cut back
only-
on meals or up your meals?
Nah, I mean it's still the same amount. Like as far as like 5-6 meals a day, it was still the same, but the portions of what you eat was smaller. So it's like I used to eat for breakfast, say like 3 egg whites and 200 grams of oats. At one point that got down to just 1 cup of egg whites. Yeah, so it's like just depending where you at in your prep, and you still gotta come here and work out and do your cardio. So it's like
A rhetorical question, but hey, I don't. Were you sluggish in some of your workouts?
absolutely, absolutely, strength went down, all that.
Well, okay. The only reason I asked that, so like, doesn't that kind of, and again, it takes the discipline and all that other stuff, but doesn't that kind of play a big part in your performance in here? Because nutrition is one of the biggest things, right? So if you cutting down, and then and regardless if it's repetition, contraction, or strength, you still need that nutrients for when you perform out here in the gym.
Yeah, you
So
need it.
that's why I asked in that format. But
You did it, and then this is where it comes to you actually have to be knowledgeable, or you have to have somebody that's coaching that's knowledgeable. So it's like if you go from, you know how we used to lift, we used to lift heavy weight, and we used to eat, but it's like
I'm gonna set it for 10 minutes, brother. Got you.
I can't come in here off of 80 grams of carbs and ego lift, or I can't come in here and think that I'm gonna put 275, 315 on the bench and do it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta understand that I only have this amount of food, this amount of carb, this amount of fat, this amount of whatever in here. I need to be a little bit more strategic with what I'm doing. So I need to lessen the weight. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter who looking at you do 135 on the bench as long as you get it done. You know what
I
I'm
got
saying?
you, I got
So it's
you.
like you gotta understand that in prep. You yeah, and it was some days where I was on low food, low carbs, but I felt good, and I'm like, dang, I can do a lot of weight right now. However, don't do it.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So just having that in mind when you're doing it. There's certain points in the prep where, okay, you're only doing this to get the blood flow, or you only doing this to get certain things.
So with that, so nutrition prep. So let's day of competition. Like where was your head at? My hat. Well, I don't got one on, but my hat goes off to you because again, the support that you gave for your friend on some and vice versa. He returned that love, but that was like seeing y'all in here, based on what I saw.
Yeah.
Again, the support and the training regime that y'all did matched what I saw when y'all went off on stage. When he was on stage and you was like, hey, Lee, do this, hey, Lee,
Yeah.
do that, this, that, and the third, it was kind of like I said, oh, damn. And, same thing, vice versa. So, but like, anyway, Dev on stage, like mindset, mental, and results, like for all that, like,
Mindset, I was good, man, and had I not had that, now granted, now I haven't competed since 2011, so
Okay.
it's been like 13 years. However, I've done it. So the nervousness, I have none of that. Surprise, honestly, I thought I was gonna be a little nervous. So mindset, man, the composure, I can say my composure was A1. I was good on that. Didn't know it was gonna be like that, but it was. The experience definitely helped. Mindset, mentally, sitting down in the stage watching Lee, I was good. I was happy. I was there for him. At no point was I kind of worried about myself during that moment. Now when I step backstage, it's like, oh shit, okay. I gotta start getting ready. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start getting pumped up. I gotta start doing what I need to do because of the show, day before the show is very crucial, it's very critical on what you're doing. Water, salt, dryness, all this other stuff. So now it's like, dang, all the focus on me now. So just making sure that when I get on stage pumped up at the right time, not too early, not too late.
Okay.
Um, what else?
And then results. So the reason why I say it like that, were you happy with the outcome? Was there some level of
I mean,
satisfaction? You know,
the way
yeah.
I look at it, right, and to answer that is I answer in two parts. At first, no, I wasn't happy with the results. I
Was it the
placed
politic? No, let me stop. Let me stop.
no, and I had to understand like. And I went back on YouTube and I watched it several times. I can lie to you. I'm like, what the fuck? How did this dude beat me? How did he? So
See,
I'll
I'm gonna
be
address that when you get done. I got you.
yeah,
Anyway.
and I'll be honest, right? So you gotta understand what the organization is looking for. Arguably, I probably had the most muscle in my classes on the stages. There's no denying that. However, what I've been learning,
Okay.
I wasn't the most conditioned, and that definitely does play a fact. Because you gotta look at the guy who won the overall. He was conditioned. He was top notch. You know.
Don't take offense if you ever see this. My bad.
And,
Yeah.
and it took me some. I had to go deep down in my soul and my pride and all that to actually tell myself, well, Jayleen, if you would have came in condition, you would have won. No, period.
Okay.
No question about it. You know what I'm saying? And I look at it in another token. It's not gonna take me but an additional 4 weeks to get conditioned to where I need to in my next prep. It's gonna take people years to pack on the amount of muscle that I have. So it's like, if I look at it that way, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't need another 2 years to get big and have the kind of muscle that I do have. I was surprised. I honestly thought I was gonna be one of the smaller guys on the stage versus being one of the bigger guys.
Okay.
So conditioning, that's the only thing that's honestly stopping me from winning. That stopped me from winning because I looked at the guys who placed. Dude who won first place, he was gonna win first place regardless. Second, third, or fourth, I came in fourth in some of the classes, second in some of the classes. Like second, third, and fourth were subjective in anybody's eyes. And you gotta look at it. You gotta look at the difference. The person who played second in place and the person who played third, they didn't really have that much muscle. But they was conditioned. They were more conditioned than I was. So everybody that beat me had that conditioning. They didn't have the muscle. They didn't have the look. They didn't have the cuts. They didn't have none of that. But they had the conditioning. So now that I know with this particular organization, if I'm gonna go do it, I gotta come in condition to win. So
Say less. So obviously, duh. But like, so you do plan on getting on stage again? Is it gonna be this year?
Yeah.
Well, I'm there for it. I'm bring
November.
donuts for real this time. Got lost.
It'll be November and it'll be here.
Say less, say less. So, how about this? That way we can wrap it up because I do know you still got some training to do.
Yeah.
So, what are some? It's going to play in fitness and in bodybuilding. So, what are some things that you like about the realm of fitness, and what are some things that you don't? Things you like and things you dislike. The concept of
Things
fitness
that
as a
I
whole.
like and things that I don't like.
In fitness,
in
not
fitness.
bodybuilding yet.
I'm
Fitness.
talking
Yeah.
fitness. Things I don't like. Everybody's quote unquote an expert. You go on Instagram, man. Everybody, and I'm not gonna go on a tangent. I'm not. I'm just gonna say this because I could go on a tangent, but I'm not. I'm just gonna leave this for y'all. Everybody is an expert, right? I've gotten my cert in what you call it, ISA, right? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm just gonna be honest. I Googled every answer. And I got my certification. Granted, I know what I'm doing in here.
Yeah. Okay.
However, I was told by another coach, just Google the answers and figure it out later. I only felt good doing that because I've been doing this for a long time, so I do know, right? And the other token is there are people that's probably out there doing this who don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it just, man, Instagram and social media just makes it just.
So when
makes,
somebody tell you I got my cert, you just go, oh yeah.
I mean, I don't really care if
Yeah,
they got their
yeah.
cert or not.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, and I say that because there's some people who do have their certs and they do know. They do know their stuff, but there's people who don't, who don't know it. But it's like, man, just I guess when I look at the programs, I guess the way I look at it is, if I'm gonna be somebody's coach, I'm never gonna run it through an app, or I'm never gonna run. Your program will not look like somebody else's program. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the way I look at it. If if I was getting coached by somebody and I'm, hey man, what your stuff look like? And they got the same thing that I got, unless they're the same weight, same age, same height, pretty much me. I don't expect it to look the same. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different. Like, what if you're a vegan? You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit. Okay. So that was the
How
diss.
you gonna run it from the app? Who just got a generic nutrition plan?
And that definitely. And so that was the dislike. So what do you like?
I like it because it's accessible, man. And I like the people. I like people. People really want to get better fitness wise, and I like that there's a lot of outlets to do that. You know, you look back at years ago, you had to go in the gym, you had to get a trainer. You know what I'm saying? Some people are not comfortable doing that. Some people want to work out in the house, and you can do that. You can go Instagram, you can look at these workouts, you can do this. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that it is everywhere, you know, but then again, it just comes with, you just gotta do your researches if you really
To the
really
juicy.
wanna do it.
To my bad. To the juicy stuff. Oh boy. Oh good buddy. Okay. Things you
think I
like
know what's
about,
coming.
but yeah, things you like about bodybuilding and things you dislike about it.
Thing I like about bodybuilding, everybody can do it.
Okay.
I don't think everybody should do it, but everybody can do it.
Okay.
I like the posing aspect of it. I like the way that is coming, like the classic physique area. It's actually you're actually posing, you're putting your routine together. Like it's the era is changing. It's not just going up there and you posing big and all that. You know, it's elegant, it's flow, it's all that different kind of stuff. Things I don't like, about to contradict myself.
Hey man.
Everybody can do it.
Okay.
And depending on certain organizations, I think the standards of becoming a pro needs to be different.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna lie, this last show I went to, I seen some pros up there that I was better than, right then and there. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
But what separates y'all is the fact that they have the pro card.
Respectfully,
Yeah.
you won your show, you went outright. Can't argue that. However, I think it needs to be a little different. I think you need to win, and this is just off the head. I think you need to win a certain number of, just kind of how NPC does it, right? So you have to go to nationals. You have to win this. You have to win this. NPC kind of has it figured out. You know what I'm saying? Other organizations don't, because it's not no nationals. Like I could have went in there that day, first competition in years, and got my pro card if I had won.
Okay.
Right? That's the same standard for everybody though. Like some of these shows are big, some of these shows are small. Smaller shows are way easier to win, and you got people that win their pro card who I'm not gonna say they're not deserving of it, but however you have amateurs that, like if I would have came in shape, right, and just a little off, and I would have got beat by, his name is Donnie, right? It's kind of like, dang, I got to do another amateur show to get my pro card. What if I go get beat by another dog and another dog and another dog? And there's a dude in there that I competed. He was in my class. He's good. He got beat by a dog though, so now he has to go to another amateur show when he's better than almost all the pros up there. So it's just the standards of becoming a pro in certain organizations is kind of different.
I got a personal question for you. Again, I go off flow, energy, and what I get from the people I talk to.
Yeah.
So you do. Obviously, you're doing this because, regardless of the politics and all that other stuff, you're doing this because you love it. Clearly, this is what you like. Has there, respectfully,
Yeah.
with what you've gone through, young now, and your experience in bodybuilding, has there been a level of disdain towards it because of what you've gone through? Again, I'm gonna just keep saying politicking. The politics of it, has it made you just like take a sit back and be like, I really don't even want to do this shit no more?
Not me personally, no.
Okay.
Because I understand what I have, like genetically. I don't think. I mean, everybody. Not even say everybody. There are a lot of people who are genetically gifted.
Okay.
I feel like I'm one of them.
Okay.
If I wasn't, and I kind of had to do things a little differently, I probably like, man, fuck this.
Okay.
But I know at some point I'm gonna win a show.
Okay.
I know at some point I'm gonna win a big show.
Okay.
And I know at some point I could potentially be the face of one of the organizations. So that's why I keep doing it. So although yeah, it is politics, it's like okay, that's just something that I gotta go through.
So I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question ahead. So you pretty to me, I feel like you pretty much just told us your goal. So is that like your overall goal in the bodybuilding world to be the face?
Yeah, man,
One
I'm
is-
trying
okay.
to take something on.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, I promise you last one, and then I'm gonna get to the questionnaires. And thank you because we did almost 45 minutes of content. I appreciate you for real,
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
Is there any advice you wanna anybody that's green, if that makes sense, a rookie to this sport, or what advice would you give them coming in if they would be like, hey Jaylen, on some real shit, I want to start bodybuilding. Like, what can I expect? And then like, what am I gonna get out of it, and what am I gonna have to sacrifice, if that makes sense?
All right. Well, first, if you're gonna get into it, I would definitely say vet these coaches.
Okay.
Vet them. You can ask them anything that you want to, because at the end of the day, they work for you.
Okay.
You don't work for them.
Okay.
You paying them, they work for you. So know what you want, have expectations,
Okay.
vet the coaches. Because there are a lot of coaches out here who they have that charisma. They can get you in the door.
Okay.
But they're not necessarily the best coaches. So I say if you're getting into it, man, do your research, vet the coaches. What was the other question?
No. So what was it? People that are green, attention span of a squirrel. What would be the advice that you give them? You said vet the coaches. I forgot I got to play this back. Attention span of a squirrel. What did I say, bro?
Shit, I don't know. Forgot.
Well, anyway, so okay, no. What can I expect? And then there we go. Okay, what can I expect, and what am I gonna have to sacrifice? Thank God. All right, yeah.
Time. If you're gonna do it the right way,
You said what was the next one? I was like, dog,
you
that was.
definitely gonna sacrifice time. Definitely gonna sacrifice money. It's not cheap.
And what can they expect out of it though?
What can you expect?
If they commit to it.
If you commit to it and you do it the right way, your body will change. You will figure out some things about your body that you probably never knew. Some of it might be good, some of it might be bad, but it's definitely, it can make you, if you do it the right way,
Okay.
it can open your eyes up to be a healthier person.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just cut it right there. I do have a questionnaire. It's I'm gonna set it for 60 seconds. I just do this with everybody. My boy Mitch came up with it. But hey, on some real shit, before I get to it, outside of the thank yous, I will say that you have changed my perspective on bodybuilding. So originally when I started doing this, Jay, and I started having sit downs with these competitors and all that,
Yeah.
the more I talk to people about it, and this is just me personally, I started, again, not disliking the bodybuilder,
Yeah.
but just the concept of bodybuilding. But like, you have swayed my thoughts on it a little bit. I need to interview more bodybuilders. Maybe I can have a sit down with your boy Lee one day, and he can give me his perspective and change. It's just the people I have talked to. The reason why I left the disdain is because, again, to me, it's like it's a sacrifice. Like, and again, with your story and your perspective, everybody's perspective is different. You got the winner mindset, and then you got the human nature mindset, if that makes sense. But it was just I needed to bring you to this platform and help me stop being ignorant to it. So I do appreciate you for that. But
Yes, sir.
yeah, but let me go and hit you with this questionnaire. Okay. 1 minute. All right. Coffee or pre-workout? Sorry, coffee or energy drink?
Neither.
You gotta choose. You gotta choose.
Stimulus. Okay, coffee or energy drink?
Yeah, coffee. Okay, got you. Bulgarian split squat or hip thrust?
As far as what?
No, just choosing between the two.
Split squat.
Say less. Strongman or powerlifting?
Strong, man.
I'm telling Tim. Anyway, oh shit. Nike or Adidas?
Adidas.
Hip hop or rock and roll?
Hip hop.
Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network?
Ooh, Cartoon Network.
Rest day or cheat meal? 19 seconds.
Cheat meal.
Cardio or sauna?
Sauna.
Fitness model or muscle mommy?
My wife.
That is a great answer, my guy. Anyway, now let me stop. She said, "You gonna see this?" Like, wait, bitch, my family. Now let me stop. Hey, but not on some real shit. Thank you for coming. Thank you for giving your perspective. I do returning guest sit downs, and I get you have a lot going on. Allow me to bring you back as a returning guest if you want. For the returning guest part, I can do a 2-man when I finally fucking sit down with Tim, and we can do a 2. Yeah, hey, now let me stop. We love you. Anyway, we can do a 2-man and we can just talk about again, politic about just the concept of fitness. A power lifter's mindset is gonna be different from a bodybuilder, just like an Olympic lifter's mindset is gonna be different from a strongman. But now allow me to bring you back to my channel.
Yes,
right?
sir.
All right.
Yes,
And
sir.
good luck to you on your second show. You got it in the bag,
Appreciate
for
you,
real.
man.
All right. And we are out.